right, so it's day 5 of being quarantined. Day 5, I don't know how we're living right now. I got all the parts, which you guys already seen, for the oil pan. I picked up some welding supplies today before I came home from work, and it snowed yesterday, pretty vicious, so as of tomorrow, we're gonna get cranking on that engine and transmission. The goal is to pretty much get the engine mounted and to go from there. Once the engine's mounted, then we could do some wiring and potentially first start pretty soon. So lots to do and lots to cover. I hope you guys are staying healthy out there. All right guys, we got a lot of work to do today. Pretty much what I got to do is separate the transmission from the engine. So my Z32 5-speed needs to come away from the engine so I could actually get it up on the lift, put the new oil pan on, new oil pan gasket, new pickup tube, all of that. So all of that needs to be done today. You know, with all of this quarantine stuff, you know, I could really take my time and do a good job. Now, I am thinking of making this car, I think for the time being, you know, hopefully everything goes back to somewhat normal. We start cranking out some more work and everything, but I'm hoping to actually put a better motor in here after a little while. So this one is just kind of a temporary motor, or maybe a builder for now, or just to get the car running, and then I would like to put a much bigger, nicer motor in here, or maybe the 6.0 out of the GTO when I figure out a full-on race motor for that car. So usually that is not how I would do it. I would actually put the engine on the motor stand and then flip it over and do that whole ordeal that way. But for this particular situation, I have to do it in a different manner because my dad's engine is still on the stand. And since it's still on the stand and I don't have the hardware to mount his oil pan and new pickup tube, it was more convenient for me to use the lift. So that is why I did it that way. But we're gonna get the new oil pan mounted up today. The reason why the F-body oil pan doesn't work, if you can see the limp here and the slant, right in this area is where it hits on the steering rack. So right in here, right here. And on the swap pan, it is about two and some odd inches shorter. So hold on, let me give you, there's that one, so you guys can see that, and then this one. So I have all of this about 2.5 extra inches where the steering rack will sit, and a lot more clearance. Also a lot more clearance here versus this one has a downslope. But yeah, so that is the reason. I also will be using the extra pickup tube that they provided, so I got to install that. So the F-body pickup tube will not work as well. And then once we get that all on, then we could essentially start pretty much setting up the motor inside the car and then doing motor mounts. Lots and lots of fun stuff. Yeah, let me show you guys the pickup tube. So here's the new pickup tube. It also comes with its provided O-ring. The pickup tube literally has 2 bolts. Sorry, all in my face. So here's the new pickup tube. Look at it, nice fresh screen, brand new pickup tube, and new O-ring. So yeah, this will go in there, and then we're golden after that. Being quarantine's not so bad as long as you got plenty of work to do, like I do right now. So make a lot of progress. This engine still needs to be very much cleaned up. Like I said, I've been ran in the car for a little over a year in the GMW, so it needs some love. But as for the clutch, this is a no lie, this was an eBay clutch. It was an XTD eBay clutch. It was a stage 4, and it's still solid. I had no issues. It didn't slip. The only issue I had with the Beamer was actually BMW stuff. None of the stuff I bought was an issue. So I'm pretty psyched on that. So next on the agenda is getting the oil pan on. Once the oil pan's on, I could remount the transmission back on here and then essentially set it in place and get it where I want to be. And we could go ahead and start fabbing up motor mounts. All right, Pop. Well, we got the engine mounted, new oil pan on. Everything looks good. What do you think?
Let's put it in. I'm ready.
So, I think I probably should remove these power steering stuff before we do that.
Okay.
And so we don't get caught up on those. Other than that, it should be ready to go. Pretty much, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to drop it into place. I'm going to put the transmission cross member on the transmission and bolt it into place. And then we're going to lower the engine as far down as possible so we could create these motor mounts. So factory motor mount slots are here and there. And yeah, so I'm pretty much going to utilize where it mounts up factory location to work with my LS project. All right, let's get this in here. All right, guys, we got her mounted in, at least temporarily. We still have to have tension on this because I could not get it to go in with the transmission. We were really hoping to bolt in engine and transmission all at once, but for tomorrow, we're gonna go ahead and pretty much fab up the motor mounts and get everything solidly mounted in the car. But very, very good day for sure.